Happy Halloween, guys. Welcome. We're going to be talking all about business brand versus personal brand and what most experts don't tell you and which one are you using right now or focused on, because if it's the wrong one, you may be missing out on revenue. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ginna and I'm the owner and CEO of Hype Media and Stylishly Branded. And we work with experts just like you to help you show up online as an irresistible go-to solution to premium clients. And one of the ways that we do that is just by you being yourself, kind of like what I'm doing today. So here's the thing. This subject is so important. Personal versus business brand, because when you focus too much on one of these, which most of us do because we don't know any better, our business falls flat. It gets stale, it gets stuck. And that's exactly what happened to me when I started my business. But when I launched, I was very focused on my business brand. And let me tell you what, it was a disaster. I was focused on my business brand because I thought I was under the impression if I'm going to show up online, I need to have my logo ready, my website ready. I had to have the right colors, all of these things that represented my business brand, not necessarily me as the expert, as the thought leader of my business, which makes me a personal brand. And what happened was, I was not growing and scaling because I was so focused on these things that did not matter to my ideal client. Here's the thing. Most of us are not the Nikes of the world, right? That is a business brand. We are the face of our brand. Now, I'll even tell you this. If you own physical products, nowadays, you will see a face to that physical product. So these big brands are catching on. This is why influencers have become such a big thing. And I will be fully transparent. My business brand was a hot mess. It didn't matter. Even after so long, it didn't matter. I actually didn't do a refresh on my business brand until 2 years ago, is when we invested in working with a branding company that built all of our new assets, made sure that my personal brand was in line with my business brand and designed our new website. That would have been 14 years later after launching my business. Did I actually focus on my business brand? And guess what? We are a multiple six-figure a year business. So I am telling you from my own experience that it does not matter so much as your personal brand. Really, really important to understand. So getting into this entire thing, one of the things that I want you to think about is why brands, or think about the brands that you are most drawn to. Do you feel stronger connection to their logo or to the person behind it, right? Now, unless you are like Nike, Apple, Coca-Cola, chances are people are going to resonate more with you than a brand logo. You will not even see my logo on most things. It doesn't matter, right? When you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're in the coaching, professional service, expert, consulting industry, or any kind of expert, your personal brand is going to carry a lot more weight. And here's why. 3 reasons. Trust and relatability. People buy from people that they trust. When they see your face, they hear your story, they hear your experiences, they get to know your personality. They're going to be able to relate more to your journey. And you're also going to be able to detract people that aren't going to relate to you. And that is totally okay, right? You can't be something to everybody. This is going to build so much more trust than somebody looking at a logo, right? Especially a logo that doesn't match their emotions, their relatability, that's not relevant to them. Second reason why a personal brand carries more weight is that it allows you to differentiate yourself, right? So there is a clutter of people that do what you do in this world. And when you're able to stand out as a personal brand, even if you offer similar services, you are that X factor, that wow factor that sets you apart. Your unique story, your values, your personality, your experiences, all of that becomes much more memorable than your logo if you are an expert. And then the third reason is it allows you to have flexibility for growth. So a strong personal brand gives you that flexibility to pivot and to grow. And I'm going to give you 2 examples of this, personal examples of me. So when I left corporate America in 2009 and I started Hype Media, I was already making six figures in my early 20s at corporate. I worked at iHeartRadio. I was an advertising executive there. I left at the highest revenue month that I had ever made. And when I left, I needed to supplement some of that income because I didn't know what was going to happen, right? I left with a few clients, thankfully. I was fortunate for that, but it still wasn't enough to make my income that I was already making. And that was a really bad time. I don't know if you guys remember what happened in like 2007, 8, 9, right? So I decided that to help supplement some of my income, I got into direct sales and I loved direct sales. Now, I did direct sales on the side for 10 years while Hype Media was building itself. And rather than me branding or representing myself as the company that I was doing direct sales with, I created a whole other brand around me called the Style Rebel Mama. Well, guess what happened? That company that I represented that was part of my new personal brand, Ginna Tassinelli Style Rebel Mama, which by the way, still exists till today. You can look it up on Facebook, Instagram, and we have an online shop. When the jewelry fashion accessory company that I represented died, they literally closed shop about 3 years ago. Guess what didn't close shop? My other business, right? Because I did not represent myself as a business brand. That's one example. Second example, when COVID hit, our agency had a lot of local businesses. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Because our clients, we worked a lot with nightclubs and restaurants. In addition to having some professional service clients that were more national, but nightclubs and restaurants, they spend a lot with marketing agencies. I was freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh. But what saved me was that I was already showing up as a personal brand. So it was easy for me to continue to build my business and not close our agency and work more in the virtual space. Now, I was already doing some online consulting with online clients, but I was able to really quickly multiply that because I was not representing myself as my business brand. So yes, a business brand has its place, right? I'm not saying to forget about it because you don't want to, but if you're an entrepreneur, your personal brand isn't just an asset. It's a non-negotiable. And that's part of being a personal brand. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't have a personal brand, Ginna. I don't know how to put this together. Okay. Yes, you do. Okay. Actually, I'm going to show you this. If you look right inside of here, look into a mirror. That is your personal brand. From the day that you were born, you have a personal brand. You just have not collectively put it together, wrapped it up into a way that people understand what it is that you do and who you serve, because you may be leading with your business brand and it's not connecting with people. So how do we change that? Okay, I'm going to give you 3 strategies to build what I love to call an irresistible personal brand so that people want to connect with you. You're not chasing people after you. And when you do connect with them, they're not like scared away, right? They know who they're speaking to. And I'm going to preface this with, letting you know, this is the foundational work that we do inside of our programs, no matter the level. All right, 3 strategies to build an irresistible personal brand. The first one is embrace all of you and story tell it. Tell your story. People remember stories way more than facts or sales pitches, and sharing your unique story is going to make you irresistible and unforgettable, which is what we want. We want people to remember you. Do you know that we get hit with about 6,000 to 8,000 marketing messages per day? But if you are consistent and you are embracing you and you are sharing all of you, now, I'm not saying like all the details, right? If you are embracing all of you and you are sharing it, you are going to be memorable. Okay. So how do you do this? What do you do? Share the real unpolished moments. I don't know if you guys have been over on my Instagram lately, but I've been sharing a lot more of that, of like real life stuff, and it's hitting. Now, Instagram's not my place. I usually do that kind of stuff over on Facebook, but I'm just stepping in over there, even though I do have a presence. It's just not one of my favorite places. It's just not my thing, right? I'm actually loving showing up in a way that's more authentic over there. And it's working. I'm creating more conversations. So we're constantly evolving and trying new things. And even myself, who's been in this industry for so long, I am constantly evolving and sharing new things. So you don't always have to be super polished. Okay. People want the raw and the real. They want to see the journey, not just the destination. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. If you are a health coach, for example, don't just post recipes, like share why you got into health coaching, the challenges that you faced, maybe is going on right now with you, right? Like I work with a lot of women that are in their 40s, 50s, and even 60s. And you could be a health coach dealing with a lot of health challenges right now. It's part of life. It is normal. So share that. And even especially those aha moments that made you take that extra leap to change that. A quick pro tip with this is authenticity isn't about oversharing. It's about connecting. Share stories that are going to make the audience feel seen and understood, because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I feel that. I'm dealing with the same thing. Be relatable. That is the main thing. Second strategy, establish your voice and your values. So please stop copying. If you're copying other people, stop copying people. Be yourself. Okay. Now, that's not to say, like, if you have mentors that you follow or people that you're influenced by, definitely using inspiration, right? But you got to find your own way. So you want to define your voice and your values and literally document this. These are non-negotiables that are going to make your brand magnetic with your ideal clients. And your ideal clients are typically going to be people that are very similar to you in some way, whether it's personality or, their business ethic or values, things like that. And here's why this matters, because you want to think of your voice as your brand's personality. So if you're bold, your brand is going to be bold. If you're compassionate, you want your brand to be compassionate. If you're edgy, same thing. If you're professional and more like conservative, same thing. Like if you are conservative, which is okay. For example, your brand colors that you're probably going to want to use are going to be lighter toned, right? They're going to be softer, right? If you're a more calm person, they're going to be softer. Whereas if you're bold, like I am, they're going to be brighter. And that goes along with your personal style as well. Your voice too. So, I'm quirky. I'm not like super loud, but there's like no fluff. And sometimes I'm a little bit too blunt. I know that. I get told that by my family often, but I do things with love and I'm super transparent about it, right? So it's just who I am. And that's how my brand is as well. So you want your voice to attract the clients that you want, and you want your voice to repel the ones that don't align with you. And that's totally okay. There's plenty of business out there. So some quick tips on how do you start doing this? You want to literally write these things down in a document. Okay. So a pro tip for this is once you know your voice and values, you want to weave them into everything that you do and you say, from your social media posts to your emails. Okay. Make sure that your brand's personality is always shining through. Like, I'm not going to say sincerely. It's just not my style, right? I'm going to say cheers, or I'm going to say, see you on the other side, things like that. So you want to choose wisely. So it's more resonant, it's more personable, but it's got to align with your personality, not someone else's. Make sense? Third strategy, show up consistently and be present. Consistency is so important, especially on social media. Your post on Facebook, for example, if you don't get engagement on your post, it's only going to last about 2 hours as people are scrolling through their newsfeed. And then it's like, unless they go like intentionally, manually, purposely go to your profile, they're not going to see that post. Instagram, it lasts about 45 minutes. If you've gotten engagement on it. If you don't get any engagement, it's still there on your profile, but it's not showing up in their newsfeed. This is why consistency is so important, but not just any consistency, valuable consistency. So if you have nothing good to post, don't even post it, because it's a waste of your time and no one's going to see it, honestly. So showing up regularly is the secret to becoming top of mind. If you're posting once a day, and once a day is actually totally good, because that's what I do. And people are like, Ginna, how do you have so much time to be on social media? Secret. I'm on 15 minutes in the morning and maybe 15 minutes in the afternoon. And rarely am I on Saturday and Sundays. I completely disconnect, right? And these are the things that I teach my clients. but they think that I'm on social media all the time. I'm not. It's just that I'm very intentional with my time, and the time that I put in there is valuable, not just to me, but also to my audience. So something that you can do, and I'll talk about scheduling your creatives, your content, but something that will help you with this so that it seems like you are present, even though you're not on social media 24/7, because like seriously, who has time for that? When you're running a real business, you don't, and you shouldn't. Take 15 minutes at some point in the day. For me, I prefer to do it in the morning before my day gets busy, because if not, I know it just won't happen. Take 15 minutes and go and selectively engage on other people's content. Like choose like 3 to 5 people or 5 to 10 people. Go and actively engage on their most recent 2 to 3 posts. And when I say intentionally choose these people, meaning choose people wisely. Choose people that you want to make sure that they see your content. So I'm very strategic about who I am having conversations with and who I'm engaging on their content on social media. It's typically going to be somebody who's a client, who could be a client, who could be a referral partner, or could be a power partner, somebody that I can collaborate with and knows other people that could possibly be potential clients for me. Friends and family, not so much. Although, I want to see what they're up to. But if you really want to like quickly boost the algorithm, be very intentional on who you are engaging with on social media. What happens is when you do that, the algorithm, it's like it shocks the signal between you and that person, and they will start to see more of your content. But you got to be consistent in how you're showing up and actually showing up. So what do you do to create this consistency? Create a schedule that works for you. Block it. Like that would be my biggest takeaway out of this is block a schedule. It does not have to take a lot of time. Okay. If daily posting feels overwhelming, schedule it ahead of time and have it already planned out. The goal is to stay present and to keep your brand visible, not have it disappear. So where should you show up? Because, nowadays being omnipresent is very important, but omnipresence does not just mean 2 or 3 social media profiles. It can be an email platform and a social media platform, right? So it doesn't have to be like 2 social media platforms, but you do need to have, I would definitely choose at least 2 platforms where your ideal clients can have some touch point with you. If we're talking about social media platforms, there's so many ways that you can be on multiple platforms without actually creating new content for each platform. There's so many different ways that you can repurpose content over a plethora of platforms that is not going to keep you stuck, and ways to actually schedule that out too. Okay. So my pro tip on this is schedule ahead of time and engage with your audience actively. And when I say engage, I mean comment on their posts, reply to their stories, and just start conversations. That's the other thing. So in those 15 minutes that you're engaging on 3 to 5 people's content, also send them a quick message and just say, hey, it's been a while since we've connected. I just saw blank, right? Maybe you noticed something on their social media. That's it. And say hi. You're not trying to like get them to sign up for something or buy something. No, they will come to you because they will see more of you if you do this. And so when you are posting something about your business and you're making an offer and you're doing what I call an activation post where people raise their virtual hands, they will have an opportunity to see that. And now you're giving them an opportunity to actually come to you rather than you chasing them. Okay. So the big takeaway here is building a personal brand as an entrepreneur. If you're a coach, consultant, professional service expert, isn't just about looking good online with your logo. It's about creating a brand that's memorable, that's magnetic, that's meaningful to your audience. Then we're going to move into identifying people in your audience right now, because most of you are sitting on a gold mine of potential clients or power partners or even referral partners that you're not activating because they don't see you and they don't know what it is that you do. And so phase 2 of this is we're going to activate your audience using stop the scroll hook formula that we have and video marketing. From that, we're going to get people to raise their hand. And simultaneously, you're creating a content calendar that's on rinse and repeat. And then we move into phase 3, where the people that are raising their hand, guess what we're going to do? We're going to actually connect with them. As human beings, we're going to have conversations and we're going to make some sort of offer to them, whether it's a free offer or a paid offer. It's going to take about 2 to 3 quick steps to get somebody to make a decision to work with you in some capacity. Maybe you're promoting a workshop, a challenge, and you want to get some organic, quick registrants. This could be if you have a low ticket item. This could be if you have a physical product. This could be if you have high ticket or high transformation, like what we work on with you. I'm going to do a quick little recap. So 3 strategies to build an irresistible personal brand, like starting today. Number 1, embrace your authenticity and storytell it. Do not keep quiet. Let people know who it is that you are. Show all of your unpolished moments. Number 2, establish your voice and your values. Okay, people want to know who you are as a human being. They want to hear your tone of voice. They want to know, are you compassionate? Are you edgy? Are you bold? It's okay to attract and detract people. And then the third one is show up consistently and be present. It's about consistency. You have to show up regularly so that people actually know that you exist. And by the way, I'm going to share this last thing as it relates to this is if you aren't doing these things, they're going to find someone else because every millisecond of the day, somebody is searching for somebody that like you to help them solve whatever problem it is that they have. And if you're not showing up, you're missing out on opportunities. And I will see you guys here next week, same time. All right. Have an amazing day and be safe. Bye, guys.